We are back in the T-Town groove. Service Electric Network here at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center. Opening night. Very excited. A lot's going on. Jim Krupka along with Gary Blockus. And Gary, the riders are excited to hit the track tonight.
Everyone's excited tonight. We've had a year away from this. This is the Back on Track Bash. We've got fireworks tonight before and after the show. We've got salute to our first responders. We've got the big flag from the Truxton Fire Company, and our two-time Rider of the Year, defending Rider of the Year, Colleen Gulick, is back, going for the, we want to say hat trick, but it's more like a helmet trick on the track.
So there you have it, a lot going on, but there will be cycling. Keep it right here. Servicing Electric Network coming your way with racing. There you see them, the Pro-Am women on the track, getting things rolling, literally and figuratively, Gary, here at T-Town. Great to be back. Rider of the Year points up for grabs already in this first race.
It's been a long time coming, more than a year. We were happy to see them back. And this is the flying mile record attempt with a scratch race. The old record, well, the current record is a minute 50 seconds, held by Jenny Reed, set in 2007. Multi-time U.S. Olympian Jenny Reed, that is. We've got a great crowd in here tonight. We've got Gulick back, and we've got a flyer here already. Someone is setting the pace. Gulick is in second, tracking her down. These mass start events are just a lot of fun. They show the grit of the riders. They show determination.
And we'll give you a rundown, Gare, of the riders here tonight. Masami Yamashita. Skylar Espinoza is number 237. Yamashita is number 224. Kara King in the house, number 238. Colleen Gulick, look for her. Gary mentioned her, a staple here at T-Town. She is 9:01. Elspeth Hewlett, also another longtime rider, at 9:11. Ivy Coaster, 9:12. Kim Zubris, 9:13. Jessica Chung, 9:15. Reagan Patishall, 2:04. Mia Dye, 2:05. Amari Yamashita, 3:04. Christine Derricole, 2:01. And Cammie Cornley, 2:16, and they are off, Garrett.
And they're off, and they're about to finish with Colleen Gulick in the lead. Jessica Chong really putting a bite in there, but she couldn't get her, and it was Gulick winning the race. I don't know if she quite got the record. The record, like I said, was 150.00, set in 2007 by Jenny Reed.
We'll listen for an announcement on that record-setting run, possibly. And our first race is in the books. It was a good one.
It was fast and quick. You see Gulick powering through. Look, she doesn't care about the people behind her. She's concentrating on going forward to that finish line. You see that little push at the end. She's a champion. She's recently got her PhD in exercise physiology, and she's just a remarkable story to be able that academic and yet that physical on the track.
And folks, I can tell you from experience, my son Alex has a PhD. That is a lot of work, and to continue riding and doing everything that she's done at such a high skill level, it's kudos to Colleen Gulick.
I was speaking with her before the event, and she was telling me it was a virtual defense of her dissertation. And I said, "Oh, that must have been easier." She said, "I thought it was going to be, but it was much more difficult because each person took a whole line of questions at her, and she did a great job because she got her success."
There she is. And rider 1, so 9:01. I guess they just have on the last digit. As school's winding down, all of you youngsters out there, that's tens, hundreds, ones. That's just the one digit that you saw.
We switched to base 10.
Switched to base 10 out here in T-Town. While you guys were away, we switched to base 10. And here comes race number 2. Guess what? This is the Pro-Am men. They are going to do their flying mile scratch race. And again, they'll go for a record, and Rider of the Year points are going to pile up Friday night under the lights at T-Town. Not only under the lights, now tonight we're going to also get some fireworks here, and who doesn't like fireworks.
Who doesn't like fireworks under the big flag? I mean, that's a giant flag out there hanging over the home straight. And it's just one of those little incentives, you know, proud to be an American, proud to be in America. And there's nothing more American than track cycling.
Best flag in the world right there, folks. You'll see it as they come around in turn 3. Thank the Trexlertown Fire Department for being part of allowing us to have that flag.
And Judge Sally Urfer gives us the gun. The race is on. This is another stiff record. The record is 1 minute 40.26 seconds, set by Dylan Kennett in 2012. So it's been around for a while, you know, not quite as long as Jenny Reed's record was in the women, but it's been around. And we've got a flyer here already with Jesse Shotland taking off, Affinity Cycles team. Jesse really took off. He's on a flyer. He's got about a quarter of a lap lead. Now we've got a rider coming back, but it's a long road to hoe for him.
When they break away like that, always interesting if they can maintain that pace jumping out into that lead.
And Shotland just pulled up, and he was chased down successfully by Andrew Duddle from Bike Works, powered by Fred Beans.
And here comes the rest of the peloton down the backstretch.
And this looks like it could be Edge Cycling, a team of Edge Cycling riders putting a concerted effort in here.
4 of them.
Yep. We had Tommy Quinn setting the pace there as a rabbit. Now they're switched leads. It's almost like they're trying to put up a 4-man pursuit there.
Were you going to say setting the edge?
Riding the edge of the track. And we're at the bell.
Here they go. Last lap.
And that is Quinn leading the charge. And he is separating. He's got his teammates behind him. Are his teammates going to challenge him for the lead? We're seeing it now over the top and the back. Going into the final turn. It's a big finish here. And we have, it looked like, is that Ian Buss?
Ian Buss, 2:09. They're going to see if that's 09. Let's see if we can catch him. Here it is.
It's a one difficult thing.
3 riders from the same team, right, Karen?
Yep, it looked like it. Over the top, his numbers fairly well hidden.
And he did throw the bike out.
Yes, he did.
You know, I guess you got to practice those skills the whole time. And I miss it, the sun. Oh, 2:03.
2:03. Okay. We do not have it. Oh, there we have Dakota Stein, another Edge cyclist. Okay. So it was Dakota Stein taking the win with a great come-from-behind effort.
We'll go over the men's roster next time they hit the track. There's a few more guys tonight at the track than the females.
Those Edge cyclists really took control there. They assumed control after the first lap, and they just crushed everybody in the field.
And now the junior women will take to the track.
This will be a smaller field. I believe there's 5 riders in the junior women.
There is a Reagan Padishal, Mia Dye, Omari Yamashita, Margaret Freeman, and Annika Flanagan. A couple of those girls rode in the women's earlier race also, so they're junior riders, but taking advantage of participating in both.
One of the nice things Trexlertown is known for is great international competition, but this early part of the season anyway, you're not going to see a whole lot of international riders because travel was so restricted. They're starting to loosen up in Europe. We still can't have our Canadian friends down. And there is a rider from Barbados, Amber Joseph, but she's doing a Crip Series this weekend, so she opted to do that, but she will be riding here this season as well.
There's a look at some of the fans. Big line tonight out at the food stand. Pretty much all night. Couldn't quite get in there.
And I think it's the Sticky Pig food truck is catering the stand this season. So. Shout out there to Sticky Pig.
See if they have the chips. Those Velo chips were pretty good before the COVID-19 hit us. There we go, flying mile, the junior women. Little tight field. They're kind of hanging together there.
Yeah, and the current record was set the last time we actually had a full season here in 2019 by Vanessa Romano. She ran a 2:05, so we still haven't gotten any times yet on the first two races, but it's got to be a real spirited event to break a record like 2:05 for a junior.
There they go, a little peek. Maybe somebody thinking of taking a flyer on the field.
And here we go.
That's Mia Dye early on. Now a couple of riders hanging tight.
And they're trying to power it. They know it's only 5 laps, just a little bit less than 5 laps. So they're pushing forth. It's not too hard. You just think it's a little bit longer than a killer meter. They're pushing.
Well, we have a second. Let's send out a congratulations. High school graduates across the valley. Some are this week, some are next week. Congratulations. Many moving on to college, many moving into the workforce. And we wish everybody the best.
That was Margaret Freeman leading the pack there for a while, but she just pulled up. And it looks like they're not even going to go. They're not going to be going for the record attempt. They're just going to be looking for a win here.
They wait for the bell, stay tightly bunched together as they head down turn number 1. Gorgeous evening. Now, Gary, for cycling, there's a little breeze. Sun is out though and hot, but much better than being hot and humid for the riders.
Yes, the humidity is held off, which is really good because that makes the air thick and slows them down, makes every effort just a little bit harder. This is pretty good conditions actually. I mean, those flags are almost not moving at all, so it is real good conditions with the wind, with no wind, I should say.
And here they go, bell lap.
And we've got a flyer already right at the bell.
It's like an edge rider.
And Paddishaw, that is.
Reagan
That's
Paddishaw.
Reagan Paddishaw. She just took off. Boy, there's a rocket coming out of there. Homaru Yamashita took the lead initially, but then Paddishaw just flew. She was determined. She wanted to pick up that race.
She really kind of jumped on it. If we get a look at turn 2 already did Reagan Paddishaw. A little more energy than the Los Angeles Lakers showed the last couple of games. Here it is.
And you just see there coming out of turn 2. What power, what speed. Look at that stroke. Look at her legs going. She just knew she had to put it on there. And Yamashita just didn't have anything to match her. She wasn't ready for that jump.
She just rode hard. You see there 2 little peaks under the right shoulder to let her know where she was. And good run by Reagan Paddishaw. We'll now move on to the junior men.
And this is the most crowded field of the evening, I believe. It almost looks like a pro men's missing out. There's so many riders out there.
Dakota Stein, we heard his name in the men's Pro-Am. He's going to be riding in this race.
So I believe there's 16 junior riders out there. And Dakota Stein, number 203, who won the Pro-Am men's flying scratch race, is also in this race. So he is a junior rider. So we're going to put him as the odds-on favorite. We don't endorse gambling by any stretch of the imagination, but if you want to put odds down.
As we all know, too, wagering in Europe on cycling is actually a big deal.
Well, in Japan, for sure, with the Kirin circuit. Many riders go there to ride races that are Kirin's, which were some of our favorite races here. Motor paced in the beginning, and the people bet on them like they bet on a horse race.
Yeah, there were a couple riders from here that used to spend time over there making a couple of bucks.
Yeah, quite a few. There's actually a few women riders from here who've also done the women's circuit over there as well. And again, we see the edge cyclists. They're out there trying to take control of the race.
Too easy. Right now, they have an edge. That's not.
That was Jonah Hover, number 317, and Dakota Stein there towards the front. And again, they're trying to do it like almost like a pursuit.
The only time I've seen this work here, this much work out of a team, was when the Germans were here.
Yeah, they really the push bikers, right?
Yep.
They were phenomenal. They really worked as a unit. And when you get that on a track, especially in these mass races, it's very beneficial. And whether they've got a designated guy that they want to put to the front, or whether they say, okay, once we block off everybody else, it's every man for himself to the finish line. We've got 2 laps to go.
Here they go. Now there's a little breakaway, 2 at the edge riders.
It's a 4-man breakaway. Everybody else is out of the money in this one.
Let me guess.
And now we've
Dakota
got
Stein,
a breakaway out of it. That is Hover, Jonah Hover. He is putting on a show here. He just took off. Now he's being pursued out of turn 2, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Hover looks like he's losing a little bit of speed. He's got to hold off the riders coming behind him.
They got to really turn it on, though. Hover.
He's pushing, and he got it. Great job by Jonah Hover, excuse me.
Got a little close at the end, more tight than maybe he would have liked to have it happen, but great job.
It was his teammate Dakota Stein there pushing him at the end, trying to making sure that if he can't get it, I'm going to. And I think the important thing there was to try and hold off the charge of the 2 trailing riders,
which they were able to do. Dakota Stein would have picked up win number 2 on the evening. And now the Masters women will take to the track. This is a longest lap formatted race.
These longest laps are always fun. Who can do the best track stand? The crowd really gets into this. The old style track stands that they took out of the match sprint, they're back with, it's just a show of strength and power and how much get up and go you have from a standing start after balancing the bike.
In this race will be Christine Derricole, Cami Cornley, Emily Schellberg, and Masami Yamashita. Again, we are glad to have you here, Service Electric Network. We congratulate our graduates from the area high schools. We also want to congratulate local sports teams moving on. State championships must be a little tough for seniors to keep their focus. They have games tomorrow, and I know Central Catholic's lacrosse team is going to play. They have graduation tonight, and hitting the field again tomorrow night. So we got to stay focused. And this morning in the morning call, all the scholar athletes from the Colonial League and East Penn Conference were listed in the paper, which was great to see.
And I'll tell you, that's got to be really tough to graduate one night and to know you have to continue playing the next day, continue your senior season. Even though school is technically over, you're still continuing your scholastic athletic career for a few days or a few games.
And here we go. They're getting their final instructions from Sally.
This is the Masters women longest lap.
And then they will come back to where they're leaving right now. Also changing it.
So they're off the wall now.
On occasion, you do see a rider maybe try to take a flyer and push the field and see, because it's only one lap. Kind of styling out there. Who's leading in that pretty colorful?
Yeah, leading is an esoteric term in this race. It's all about that final lap. You've got to be measured, you've got to be slow, you've got to be strong. Because when that gun sounds, they can't cross the finish line.
down.
Or come out of the blue. You've got one rider in the blue. You can't go below that blue band on the bottom of the track.
So women, you
This
must
reminds me of being on
yourselves to
the
home stretch of
turnpike and
15
coming into a toll booth on a holiday weekend, kind of slowing everything down. They're now heading into turn 4.
Christine Derrickle, I believe, in the blue. She just relinquished the lead, if you want to call it that.
Turn number 4, one of our officials in blue shirts.
I'm going to wait for the riders to come to the top of the track and see if somebody does the old slide down and run. Here we go, here we go.
So I am, I can, I will, I do things. Your mentor is on track right now.
Derrickle, Christine Derrickle is trying to hold back. She's trying, and here's the bell. Derrickle is first out of the gate.
And if you'd have crossed the line there, Gary, you would have been eliminated, correct?
Right away. Carney Cornely, number 216, was in pursuit. Now we've got a rider over the top.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be a challenge here.
No, this one's going to be over in a flash. And it is Cornelli. Cami Cornelli.
Cami Cornelli wins it. A good run by her.
She was out of the gate quick when the bell rang, and she maintained that edge. Just look at her go. She held back, and then all of a sudden, boom! Look at that speed. Just left everybody behind her.
You know, once you get away, now it's tougher, Gary. It has to be tougher in a smaller field because there's nobody really is going to be able to draft out or through.
Exactly. And plus, you're catching everybody by surprise. Everybody's waiting for the move, but when it comes, you have to be able to match the move, and that's the hardest part: is to get your legs turning, to get that gear working with you.
There's a look at the start-finish line and into turn 4.
And now we will go with the Masters men. Will be up next. The 40 pluses. And a lot of these guys raced in the Pro-Am Men's Open, so you got some of these guys doing double duty. One of the guys who didn't do double duty in the Men's Pro-Am was one of the track favorites here, Matt Diefenbach. He's back. And I know they tried to talk him into doing the Pro-Am men's, but I think he wants to be content in this field. We've got a highlighted field in this one. We've got Nao Yamashita, got Terrence Chiaffi, Matt Diefenbach, Ionas Canavatsas, Greg Hoffman, Rick Hoffman, Dave Grant, Corley Heiserman, Joe Camacho, Michael Miller, and Ryan Pomajevich. This is the longest lap. Here you see track director Andy Lakatosh telling them exactly what's going to take place, getting them lined up. And now it's up to Sally Urfer to give them their final instructions.
A couple nods of the head there.
It's kind of like what we see in the Zoom and the Google Meets that we do in school, right, Jim?
You got it. Yep, nodding his head. Yeah, they're thinking about what am I going to do? Who's going to be the first guy to break away? Oh, wait, they're talking about the rules and regulations. Great to be here, though, tonight with cycling back at T-Town. An Olympic year, cycling will be held, Gary, right in July. Any
in Tokyo?
Any thoughts of the American team? We looking strong? We looking weak? You want another couple weeks to sort through?
It's anybody's guess after what happened last year with the pandemic shutting so much down.
Mm-hmm.
Riders training and not racing. I think the sharpness for all teams is going to be off a little bit. It's going to all be how hard they worked and how much intensity they can find that day. how much the extracurricular things will be out of their mind and who's going to be affected by all those extracurriculars. And, but in July here, originally the U.S. Nationals track cycling was supposed to be in Los Angeles, but due to the pandemic and the indoor restrictions in California, they've moved them to Truxertown. So I believe it's the second weekend in July. They will be here for almost a full week. So you have all the best junior riders, the best senior and elite riders, best masters riders, plus the Paralympic riders will all be here in Truxertown contesting for U.S. National Championships.
Yeah, here we go with the tracks. And remember, folks, they cannot cross that line, but there's the bell. Now they're going to be able to chase it through.
And rider 329, Dave Grant, tries to get going. He's got it going. He's in the front. Comes through turn 2, and he's out of the saddle, and he's pushing hard. He's forward. He's being chased down. Heiserman is behind him. Corley Heiserman. And Corley Heiserman has enough down the stretch. It's Corley Heiserman for the victory.
Able to turn it on right at the end of the race. He kind of held a nice position. Drafted it, look, Gary, a little bit.
That was a perfect stage for drafting. You know, he read his rider. He knew he didn't want to power down the back straight. But he's just taking his time. He's going to catch up. He's going to let all the work take place in front. Now he's right in the slipstream, and he's using that slipstream. He's high, but he's over the top now, and he's right in that slipstream. He uses it, and through the finish line. It's a nice thing about a 333 track is that you have that distance coming out of turn 4 to beat somebody down the finish line. On 250s, what you'll see at the Olympics, that rarely happens. Whoever's leading out of turn 4 almost always wins. But the 333 just gives you enough space to make the difference in that.
So a good run. Just as I was saying, maybe you really can't draft. I'm proven wrong as he drafts down that back turn.
Boy, what a beautiful night. You just can't, I mean, look at the flags right now. They're not moving. There's no wind whatsoever.
And the riders got to be loving it. A little bit of a breeze. Here we go, super sprint elimination. This one, more commonly known as missing out, right, Gary? They're going to go down?
Yeah, it's a little bit. They'll go down to the final 6 riders, and then the final 6 will have 3 to go. Missing out, they usually go down to 3 riders to get a free lap to regain and go. In the super sprint elimination, they're going to drop down to 6 riders, and then there'll be 3 to go.
So they are now down the back stretch. We'll pick them off as we go. If we can catch their numbers, we'll do the best we can.
And this is a crowd. Here we go for the gun to officially start the race.
And that is a good start.
That is number 11. We don't have an 11 on our roster.
Unless it's in the youngsters, maybe.
No.
Let's see.
Or the Masters.
Yep, could be with the Masters.
So we have rider 238, Kara King out front.
Coming off the back. Now we're going to keep an eye at the back of the field here to see who is going to be called out.
It is rider number 11, and I can't find anything with an 11 on it. Oh, here we go. I've got her. It would be rider number 911 on our sheets. That's Elspeth Hewitt, our local rider. Of course, we're going to have mostly local riders tonight, and Elspeth is one of those great riders that we've always called her name out here.
Oh, definitely. She's been long-standing. Generally runs up top, and somebody got bumped.
And that was Skylar Espinoza there in the front of the track, number 237. She's pulling the whole peloton right now. leading the group. She is at the vanguard.
They're going to go down to six riders.
Correct.
Here we go. Who's in the back of the pack? Trying to sneak
Looks
up.
like rider 204 got eliminated there.
That would be Reagan Padishall, who had a great run first time around.
Yes. Early win, early out. And here we come again. There's a devil back there playing games, but she just jumped to the front and really took the lead. That was number 11 again. And that was Hamari Yamashita, eliminated number rider 304. It's a family that cycles.
That's just like many other sports. You know, you see these riders. We've seen so many names, brother and sister combos, and
father, daughter, sister, brother.
Yeah, there's a whole family involved out here often.
And that was rider 237 eliminated there. That's Skylar Espinosa saying so long for this race. Interesting, we're saying all these different related people, and tonight we saw Bobby Lee with his son, and don't you know that they have a little bike for him that he's riding?
Maybe he'll be one out there with the Peewee Peddlers one of these days.
Well, we'll be calling his name soon, I think.
There we go. Peloton moving, getting smaller.
And they've all pulled up now. They're measuring each other up. We are down to the final 6. So this is a 3-lap final now. We're down to the final. We're going to hit the bell when they come around.
Elspeth Hewlett in second position.
Hewitt.
Here we go.
Ivy Coaster. And there goes Pickle Power. There goes Colleen Gulick. She's the manager. She originated, started the pickle juice team, and she just took off down coming out of turn 4, and no one's going to catch her. Your 2-time defending Rider of the Year, just putting on a show tonight. Her second victory.
Colleen Gulick picks up win number 2, and she follows kind of that same MO, Gary. She comes out of turn 2. She's loving that backstretch, and then jumps on the field, and nobody can get her.
That's right. After she's done racing tonight, she's heading to Virginia, and just look at her drop down into out of turn 4, and just look at her throw the bike around, just putting the power in there, out of the saddle, now rested in, just using her power, using her superior pedal power.
Takes the lead, yep, kind of waltzes it home.
She just opens up that lead, opens the throttle, so to speak. She's just so smooth.
Now takes a little cool down lap. Does Colleen Gulick, win number 2 for her tonight. Giving you these great camera shots, including that one right now of the infield. Jake Leiby, Derek Kohlhammer, Travis Huffman, Parm Long, and Doug Long manning the lenses. You know, not the easiest sport, Gary, to cover with a camera.
No, it's not. The angles are fantastic. This is a 333-meter track. There you see the display there. The 12-degree banking is just so much a fun thing to be on. But when you hit the 28-degree banking up in the corners, between the two third and fourth turns and the first and second turns, it's wild. And these just helps you keep your speed going. I mean, you could not maintain your speed like that on a flat road and still come around.
And you're not going to get any of this with home banking either, by the way. You got to come out here. You can't say, well, I mean, you can catch it on Service Electric Network, of course, but you want to try and come out to the track a couple times a season.
One of the most fun things for me when I first started coming here in the late 70s was listening to the whir of the wheels as they pedaled around. Now you don't hear that whir so much because of all the aerodynamics built into the wheels, the disc wheels, the tri-spokes. But back then, it was just so cool. You just heard the whirl of the wheel through the spokes. These guys and girls just went so fast.
Maybe they have to have a whirl now.
Where they
Bring
go
back the
old
old,
school
you know, you go
wheels.
back old school. They're doing that now in bowling. They run bowling tournaments where you have to use a plastic ball. You can't use any reactive resins or any of the new stuff. Yeah, it's interesting.
Do they oil the lanes?
They still oil them, and you gotta hook that plastic ball. Here they go. They're down the backstretch.
And okay, this is This is the 8 kilometers point race. Points every 6 laps. An edge sprinter, number 225. That is Jinwei Tang, just taking off there for the first lap, and now he's dropped back. It's almost anticlimactic when the points are up for 5 laps later to take that lap like that. And everybody's just stringing it. What he did was he effectively strung out the field. Rider number 313 leading that lap.
James Cordillo.
He's from the T-Town Masters. That line is long. It's like
taking their turn. I always found that to be, for any of the new viewers, I always found that, Gary, to be interesting, that in cycling, you're really supposed to be a little bit of a gentleman sport here. Take your turn at a pull in front. You can't just hang in the back.
But people do.
I'm sure.
It's supposed to be an honor system, but what honor is there when you're actually trying to get this thing? You're trying to get a win, looking for the bell. Here's the bell. That's rider 242, Dylan Gonzalez from Oceanic Racing, and he took off. He's going for that first set of points, and no one's going to challenge him for it. But I'll tell you what, the field better close on him.
Yeah, or he's going to get that next set of points because he's really pushing it, considering he's going to get the points. Now he takes a look back. Let's see if he reels himself back in or he's going to press it. He takes a look back. He's got a couple of riders. Maybe he's going to see if these two guys break away and help him out.
And one of the trailing riders there. It's interesting. It's going to be hard to get back. I mean, it's hard to be on an island like that out front, and you've got to have some cooperation from the riders in the back to try and catch a breakaway.
Well, he's trying to slow down. But
He did. Yeah, he wants to recover now. He just pulled up the track. He wants to recover.
I don't know. If I were him, I'd press it a little bit, see if he can get, because he's almost 2 ahead now. Now he's going to let them. Now he's going to get some help.
And while he's recovering, everybody else is pushing it to catch up to him. So maybe he's going to have another little bit of a jump for the next bell.
Now he can't get stuck back in the middle of the pack. There's a great shot. You can see Dylan up top. Here comes the rest of the track. There, they got him now in turn 4 and across the finish line.
That's number 14, Robert Mayfield there taking the lead. And now he's on a little bit of a flyer. He's got a gap. I don't know if we're going to see a gap like we did previously. That is impressive, though, when they do that.
Yeah, jump on the field like that.
And then all of a sudden you can see how it's just so hard to keep that, to be on an island alone like that. And they always fall, not always, but majority of the time, fall back.
He's still out in front. I'm not sure how many laps we have to go. I think it's 2.
Jonah Hover was chasing him down there.
See if they're going to go. Now he picks up the
back.
pace a little bit. He wants to see if he can pick up. I think he's got 1 lap. He's going to get the bell maybe here.
You're going to have some lactic acid build up in the legs there. Rider 242 leading the pack. Dylan Gonzalez again. Back in the peloton, he pulls up. They're they're all working together to try and cut that gap.
Now he did get the first 6 points, correct?
Yep. Now you see, this is what Jim was talking about, be somewhat of a gentleman. That's what them in the peloton is trying to catch up to the leader. They've all got to do some work. And sometimes you'll have a teammate of the lead rider who will slow the pack down.
Dylan Gonzalez.
And now the pack has just pulled up the track. They've slowed their pace. They've slowed their attack to catch up.
They can't give him another 6 points, but it looks like they might. Here goes Dylan Gonzalez now. A little more urgency as he heads into turn 1 and 2. They're not going to get him. He's down in turn 2. He's going to pick up the second 6 points.
James Cardillo is trying to push the pace, but it's doubtful he'll catch him for the 6, but he'll definitely get some points there.
Here they come, but it's not going to be enough. Gonzalez is going to grab the second set of 6 points. Now he's going to have to pull up more than likely.
Now you look back, and yes, he's got coming out of turn 2, and he looks up and says, "All right, go, guys. I'm done being on an island."
But he'll draft in, and they let him take the lead again.
They want him to do the work.
It's like they're tossing him hot coals. See, I want it, you take it.
Let you get worn out. That's Brad Green now at the lead of the pack. And again, it seems like everyone who takes the lead gets a gap on the field. And so what you're seeing is a lot of individual determination in each of the people that have gone up front.
This is interesting tonight. I mean, obviously we've seen a ton of races in the coverage here for Service Electric Network, but I can't remember where the field kind of let a rider or two just, hey, go ahead, have some fun.
Do this continually.
And the rider doesn't have to push it. He's just steady pacing it out there.
He's got a nice guy. He's got almost a half a lap, maybe more.
Yeah, he's got a half a lap for sure.
Yeah, he's got more than half a lap now, but he looks like he's slowing a little bit. He's got to bear down.
He's looking at the field going, wait a minute, guys, I'm not supposed to. Now, if he was a German rider, they'd love to lap the field. I remember that year they were lapping the field right and left.
Now we've got somebody shooting out, but there is well more than a half lap gap in this.
He's going to be like the Indy 500 last week. He's going to run into the peloton. He's not going to be able to make a move.
That is Dylan Gonzalez trying to make a break, but he's still so far back. Here is the bell lap.
If he laps the field, he picks up extra points, correct?
Yes, he does. He picks up 25 points for lapping the field.
Trouble is, he doesn't look like he has anything, or does he just have to catch that last guy?
He just has to catch the last guy.
Well, he's going to do it right here, coming down the backstretch in turn 3.
And I think Gonzalez is trying to make sure that he can do it too.
Because he would have the lead with the bucket of 12 points, but here you go.
Be up a lap as well.
So he forced Gonzalez's hand. 6 laps to go. We're going to be coming down to the final sprint. 5 laps to go. Yeah, those legs are burning a little bit.
Brad Green's got a long way to go. This is just under 2 kilometers. And he's solo. He is on the island. He's by himself. And this is the loneliest, not just the loneliest time, but the hardest time mentally. Because you have to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. Meanwhile, everybody else in the pack has a target, right? There's a bullseye that they see on number 241. That's not a number, it's a bullseye.
But Brad Green right now, he's going by the lap counter going, next time it's going to be a 3, and he's got Gary a half a track lead.
He does have half a track, but the previous lap he had more than half a lap, and now that lead is falling. But it doesn't matter for points. It's a preem lap now, so it's $25 to the winner from the peloton.
There they go down the backstretch, but he is mastering this race right now. Is Brad Green.
He's just got to keep it going. He appears to be slowing physically.
And our master control tonight for the show is Dan Himmelreich. We thank Dan.
We got another Preem on the line here again.
And they're throwing Preems out, trying to get people to chase him down, trying to catch up to Green.
Oh, there's a $50 Preem. That's a lot of jingles.
Yes, it is. That was Nail Yamashita, who's pushing the pace, trying to catch up. He's down about a quarter of a track right now.
Here's the belt
But
lap.
here's the belt lap.
That's a great close-up shot.
And Green is trying to push. Look at him. He's trying to put everything he's got into this one. Yamashita is pushing as well, but I don't think he's going to catch him.
He's about a quarter track behind. Here comes Green. He's heading into turn 3 and 4. Yamashita just now reaching the backstretch. And it is easily Brad Green's going to walk away with the win.
Brad Green. That's Jesse Shotland behind him, but Jesse Shotland was a lap down on him, so he wasn't even contesting for any points there. That was all Mr. Green. Leaving the field green with envy.
He's a little gassed down there in the back. Wins the 10-kilometer point race, the Pro-Am men.
That was kind of fun.
Well, Brad Green, I think he got caught, and he was waiting for the field to come after him, and when they didn't come, he just
kept it going. You can see by the exasperation in his breathing. Look at that. He's spent.
Big round of applause from the fans.
That was one heck of a race for him. It's so hard to be alone there. The mental pressure, you feel every little bit in your legs. Your thighs are ready to blow up. And the field couldn't come back on him. That's just even more impressive.
Right, but like you said, the tough thing for the field there is they need to get organized. Somebody needed to jump into the lead of the field. Even one or two guys jump into the lead of the field and get them to sort of go after them. When nobody did that, it didn't happen.
Absolutely. It looked like it was going to happen in the beginning, and then it just kind of fell apart.
And there's a look as dusk is upon us. The lights go on.
We do like the lights here too. The lights on the track make it look like daylight. If you take a photograph, it looks like it's daylight. You don't even, like, no flash, anything. They're just perfectly pointed.
And there's a good look at the crowd. And with the shot of the crowd, we're going to take a break here from Service Electric Jaguar. We'll be back with more cycling after this.
And we're back. There's the Peewee Peddlers, the youngest kids on the track, the youngest program. And they're out there having fun, showing off the skills that they learned. You got the knee pads going for protection. One kid with a mask still, COVID precautions in place. And there they are taking their ceremonial wave at the crowd after they've showed off their skills.
Yeah, they did a great job pedaling around. There's a gorgeous shot of our evening. Nice blue sky there to the right. No, doesn't look like any rain. Look at that. We're fading them in. Joe Wakovitz is controlling our weather from the Service Electric Network truck, but it is a great night for cycling.
It's funny, T-Town, we always, their mascot was the lightning bolt because there's always so much lightning here on Friday nights, not on the track, but in the skies. And when we saw the weather today with the potential for thunderstorms, it was like, oh boy, it's another Friday night in T-Town. We had a little bit of rain this morning. We had a couple of downpours around 3 o'clock, but everything cleared up, dried up. The humidity's still staying off. We're going to have a scorcher in the next couple days, next 5 or 6 days, but it's really beautiful tonight. And boy, if the internationals were here with the conditions, they'd just be loving it.
And she's checking out the standings of the riders right there on her phone.
On the mobile app.
Her T-Town app.
The kids here just don't play on the phones. They're looking at the results, looking for the timing.
Our director tonight is Dwayne Long, handling all the graphics that you see as the fans are lined up in terms 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 was pretty packed. Our graphics, Jason Dudish, Joel Rakovitz, as I mentioned, extra video, Munch Long, audio, Joel Seen and Corey Lewis, and utility, Trevor Huffman and Rocco Maffa. We thank those guys. They get here early in the afternoon to do the setup, and they'll have to stay a little bit after everything's finished to do the takedown, although tonight it might be a little more enjoyable. They get to dismantle under the fireworks of
the boom booms
of T-Town.
Okay, we're going to have junior women's longest lap right now coming up. But I just have to give a shout out to Bob Evans, a longtime volunteer here. He greets the riders at the gate. He greets us when we come in at the gate. He's going to be 75 on Tuesday, and he's having a little birthday party celebration over under the velo decks there, the tent closest to your screen. That's his group, and they're celebrating what will be Bob's 75th birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday, Bob.
Congratulations also to Bob. Here come the junior women. That field is Reagan Patashall, Mia Dye, Amari Yamashita, Margaret Freeman, Annika Flanagan.
I like that name, Annika.
Pretty sports name, Annika Sorensen.
Yes.
I gotta say, my wife got me a book of George Bush paintings on immigrants who've come into the country, and Annika Sorensen is in there. Her story is pretty cool, and now I'm reading stories about other persons that came to the United States, worked hard, and achieved success. It's a pretty good book.
Okay, we've got 3 Edge cycling riders in here, so trying to expect a little bit of teamwork as it can be for the longest lap.
One lap. This is, again, folks, remember, they cannot cross the finish line. That's what Gary mentions when they'll have to do a little track stand. These guys, their pace is a little quick considering they're not sure when that lap is going to start.
They're not going to have their strength tested maybe for the. But we only have 4 in the field, not 5 as we had previously announced. But Reagan Patashall, again, we don't bet here, we don't gamble, but if you're going to pick an odds-on favorite for this, she does have a great kick. So as long as she doesn't cross that line before the bell starts, I'd put money on her if you could put money down.
Amari Yamashita her pace was a little quick, and she realized, uh-oh, here comes that line we don't want to see.
It's now you see them slowing. And that's pretty impressive. Look at that, to a crawl. Waiting for the gun. I mean the bell lap, rather.
Or waiting for them all to cross the line and the race is over.
And that's happened where quite a few have dropped. Patashall, number 204.
She's second from the bottom.
We had Freeman with the kickoff there. Mia Daya. And we're going hard. This is the fun part of it. It's like great to see the strength, to see the patience, but then to see the standing start and the kicks like this. And then who's going to push it through? Whose legs burned up on that standing start or not?
Wow, that was a 3.
And it looked like Patashall held them all off.
3 women final there. They were all closed in on the line.
That got tight. It was Patashall with the win.
Junior women, Patashall, I think that's her 3rd win tonight.
Yes, it is. And just look at her power there. Holding that lane, holding that sprinter's lane. And just look at the acceleration coming out of turn 4. She got a little bit of a draft there from her teammate.
And now the longest lap for the junior men. They look like they're plotting a strategy there, Gary. Look at that.
And again, some riders still taking the COVID precautions. with the face mask. I tell you, it's really difficult if you're building up a good sweat wearing the mask and trying to compete. And just when I was using the ellipticals in the gym and the masks, when they get wet, you literally have to change them because it starts cutting off your air. But the idea is for COVID is you're wearing them when they're dry.
And for everyone's safety. We didn't cover the junior men's field. Dakota Stein's a name you heard. He's had a successful night. Jacob Evans, Nicholas Roberts, Finn Kohler, Jonah Hoover, DJ Toback, Mason George, Anson Wright, Chase Will, Marcus Kennedy, Gavin Evans, Ethan Hendricks, Patrick Pikus, Sebastian Arce, Isaac Rosenthal, and Eric Lopez are our junior riders for this evening. Everybody gets set up. After this, we'll have the Masters women back out on the track with the Masters men. The Masters men will be a missing out. Masters women, a sprint semifinal.
All right, so we have a good sized field here. This will be our junior men. They're going to be doing a longest lap.
Brands Cuevas taking lead spot there. There's a shot up our grandstand, the home straight. That's one of the other cool things about coming out to the bike races, the colorful kits that they wear, the bikes, the aerodynamics of it all. And we're rolling off.
That's a team here from New York City that joins us on Tuesday, Saturday, and Fridays. We've got the colorful.
Everyone's just taking their time here. It's got to be slow. Because when you get to that start/finish line, you have to hold on. You can't cross it until the bell sounds.
I know there's no pari-mutuel wagering, but I'm guessing one of these guys is going to go across the line. That's a pretty crowded track.
It is, I think. Yeah, I think they might have some fun with them and make them stand for a while. We'll see.
Yeah, they're going to. I always find it amazing when they do the track stand because it's more when you're getting pushed from behind. Somebody's around. You don't want to be the cause of, the traffic jam in turn 4.
You don't want to be the one high up because then you're holding the angle. You don't want to be the one really on the bottom because then someone's going to fall into you if they lose it from on top.
Here they come. They're a little quick, although now
the pace really slows to a crawl.
Turning those pedals. Here might be my one winner. Come on.
Oh, getting a little close.
Getting
a little
tight.
Too tight there.
There's
the bell.
They all made it.
330. Rider 330 takes the flyer. He gets off the gun real well. And now we've got someone out of the saddle, pushing down, coming in, going into 3 with a big lead, widening it, coming out of 4. He's going to hold on.
I think that is Dakota Stein again. Dakota Stein.
I believe it was Nicholas Roberts, 303.
Okay. 303, yes. Not 203.
Yes, it's again, the numbers are so small, they're really hard to pick up.
There's your winner, Nicholas Roberts. Thank you, Jason Dudish.
Any riders that we misidentify, we apologize
in advance.
In the past and in advance. Numbers are difficult to pick up. And we are picking guys from the same team if we are getting you wrong, so.
Look at these two guys.
Look at that, that's a track stand right there.
That was a good one. Two of them up high. Good track stand by DJ Toback.
Yes, it was. Fun to watch. And back in the days of the match sprint when they were allowed to do it, people would cheer, start stamping on the bleachers. They were just fun, a lot of fun. And it shows how good they are. And just look at that power there.
Dakota Stein picks up I'm sorry, I keep saying Dakota Stein. It's not Dakota Stein.
That was Nicholas Roberts.
Nicholas Roberts.
And even threw the bike at the end. Is this coming down here?
That is a fast food delivery going to someone's house today.
Amazon delivery.
Yeah, they get your stuff to you every which way down Amazon. Now they're doing parachutists.
By drone, by parachute.
Great camera shot, though. That guy's having a nice evening, catching some cool air up there. There's a missing out, pardon me, for the Masters women.
Masters men.
Masters men.
Sprint semifinal for the women.
Okay.
So this will be a 2-lap race. So this will be a game of cat and mouse here in the beginning.
This is the
We've
2
got
laps.
Carney Cornelli in trailing.
Here in detail, 2 laps. Match three tactics here. Pretty interesting. So first wheel is going to be Emily. This is Emily Shelbert's first
So it is
racing bikes.
Cami Cornelli, and I'm not sure who's with her.
Emily Shelberg is in the black.
Shelberg in front right now.
This is her first time racing on Friday nights. So she drew the straw. She has to maintain that lead for this first lap unless she voluntarily relinquishes it. She's trying to measure her rider. Measure what Cornelli's trying to do. It's nice. And people say, why is this a sprint? It's just like when we watched with the longest lap. It's about strength, it's about power, it's about strategy. Some people will go hard too, but this way you measure it out. Now you get the bell. Whenever they're ready to go to commit to the sprint, that's when the action takes place. But all this is a setup, trying to find an opening. The rider in behind looking for an opening to dive down to catch the rider in front off guard.
Shelberg pushing it a little bit. Cornelli looking for the room to drop down there in turn 1. Shelberg holding her off right now.
They're really measuring. I know Shelberg's probably a little anxious to go, but but she's shown patience. But this is her first season on the track. She's shown a lot of discipline. Now she's starting to commit. She's diving down into the sprinter's lane, but she just got wiped out, passed by Cornelli.
Not going to have enough, Cornelli, unless here she comes a little bit. Shelberg making a move. Cornelli going to hold her off. Yes.
And there's good patience on Cornelli's part to wait for the sprint to start, to take a little bit of advantage of less experience on the part of Shelberg.
So now I'm going to guess we'll have Christine Derricole and Masami Yamashita.
That would be a good guess.
But I've been wrong before.
And you can see,
oh.
you can see Cornelli just take off there, going into the final 2 turns, just taking the lead. And just a little bit more experience is all that it takes in this. It really, truly is a game of cat and mouse. Okay, now we have Yamashita and Derricole. They're listening to their instructions. And they're both smiling. They're smiling now. Let's see what they look like at the end of the race.
I think they're going to be the same deal. I think we're going to see them now. Again, Derricole has to lead out for the first lap, correct?
Correct, unless she voluntarily relinquishes it. She's down in the blue band. So you can ride in that blue band, but you can't pass another rider in that blue band. So Masami Yamashita has been riding here with her family for a number of years. And again, family is cycling. Now, this is interesting, taking her to the boards. Derricole, it's not a real tour of the boards, but they are high up on the track. We call it a tour of the boards when they take them up there high deliberately. And sometimes the rider leading just below will take the rider on top who's trailing up into the track, just kind of cut them off, force them to try to make a move.
She learned this from the Montreal Canadiens, taking her to the board.
Clear path, whereas Masami would have to change speed before she would drop down track.
Interesting. There she goes, though. That's a
There you
great
go.
move.
They're
See if she
both-
can hold on.
Oh, Yamashita looks like she's got some power coming out there. She's going to take the lead coming through.
Turn one.
She's
Derek
got-
Cole tried to make the move. Yamashita is up to the task.
And it looks like she's got the gear to do it, too. It took Derek Cole a little while to get her gear going. Does she have enough time to close that gap down the stretch? No, she does not. Or she does. Whoa!
Wow.
She turned a naysayer into a believer. She
Derek
got
Cole
that
made
gear
the
going.
move.
It took her a while to get that gear going, but when she got it, it worked.
Big smile you can see there. That was a great race. Behind, ahead, behind. Here we go. Take a look at her. Here she
Look,
comes,
it
Derek Cole.
doesn't- She's pushing. She can't get it. She can't get that gear going. And now look at now. All of a sudden, it's starting to come, but slowly. And then here coming out of turn 4, she's behind by over a bike length, and yet she somehow manages to get it going.
And wins by a half a bike.
That was impressive.
I was impressed actually with both riders on that run. That was a great race.
And she's smiling like she was at the beginning. I said, let's see if that smile's on the face at the end.
And now here come the Masters men for a missing out.
So this will go down to the final 3 riders. So unlike the Super Sprint where it goes down to 6 and they got 3 laps, this goes down to the final 3 riders, and they'll just start eliminating each other. They get to do the final laps together.
And if we did not go over the Masters men riders in the field tonight, we have Nao Yamashita, Terrence Schiaffi, Matt Diefenbach, a familiar name from out here at Valley Preferred Cycling Center, Ionis Kavazadas, Greg Huffman, Rick Huffman, Dave Grant, Corley Heiserman, Joe Camacho, Michael Miller, and Ryan Pomajevich. They make up our Masters field.
And remember, it's not about who wins the lap, it's who loses the lap. The gun is off, so the last person to cross on the next lap gets pulled off the field.
So you got to look at the back of the pack as they come around.
And when you get the really good riders, really good field, guys play games at the back of the field. They call it devil takes the hindmost. They'll ride at the back like you see going on now, and then all of a sudden sprint up, catch the last rider, and eliminate that rider. But this one looks like it's set in stone. That's rider number 322 eliminated right off the bat. That's Rick Hoffman.
They'll come around again. Another rider will get tapped on the shoulder.
And this is a pretty good pace for this lap.
And they're pushing it out a little bit.
And they're going to leave somebody in the dust. One rider in the back there couldn't match the effort going forward. And it's rider number, hidden number.
Can't see who that is. I don't know if our camera crew can zone in on that.
I believe that was Joe Camacho. Rider 426. Here we go again. And again.
Numbered on the inside. Oh, no, wait.
It's only on the inside.
He won a race earlier. There it is. We got a 405. Corley Heiser.
Corley Heiser. Yeah.
He's the one that made that great run down the back stretch, kind of drafted out and jumped on for the win right at the end.
Now we've got a good pace going here. And there's a pip. Did he make it?
Hoffman, the other Hoffman, so that's Rick Hoffman, I think, got bumped that time.
So now Hoffman with 2 Fs, which is Greg, and Hoffman with 1 F, which is Rick. They're both out of the race. Now we're down to 4 riders. This will be the last one.
Bumped. That's tight at the back. Ooh, down in the bottom. You know, you get stuck in the bottom. That's trouble.
Yeah, now Yamashita eliminated.
He really got stuck, Gary. couldn't make a move. He got pinned in down in the bottom and had no room.
And then you have someone going over the top that you can't control their speed, and you have no place to go. So here we go. It's one lap to regroup, and now it's the final lap for first, second, and third.
Well, he has a place to go, but it's in the infield.
220, right at 220, leading it out. That's Terrence Chiaffi. And he's trying to hold him off. There is a big sprint coming over the top.
Wow, 3 riders. They're all tight.
Chiaffi's still working hard, trying. He's got the shorter distance to the line. He came out of the sprinter's lane, but it's not enough to hold back rider number 239, 230 rather. That's
Matthew Diefenbach. So it looks like that is the winner. That's Matt Diefenbach.
No, it's 239. That's right, 239. That's Ryan Pomajevich. It's so hard to pick these numbers up. But there you see Pomajevich trying to get, he can't get over. He's being held off. And then right here, he goes out of the lane, and that's just enough to break that speed down. And Pomajevich has the speed to get to the line first.
That was tight, boy. In that, as they were coming to the finish line, I thought there was going to be an accident there. I kind of backed away. Somebody almost dropped down and had a little spill, but they showed their experience and they're able to get through.
It's just the leader holding on in turn 4, came out of the sprinter's lane just a bunch, lost his speed trying to hold it together. And Pomajevich took advantage.
Pro-Am women now coming back out on the track for another longest lap, and they will be followed by the Pro-Am men for a longest lap.
Now maybe we'll see some longer stands at the front before we hear the bell.
So Pro-Am women, Pro-Am men. We've gone over the field for Pro-Am women. Derek Cole back out on the field after her win. I liked the first singlet. That was pretty colorful.
Yeah.
A little paisley going, I think.
I know some of these kits look new to us. We haven't seen some of them before. And again, it's a new season for everyone. Ivy Coaster was complaining about something when they rolled off. I don't know what it was. It's a slow ride to the start-finish line on this longest lap.
It sounds like a good lead-in for a song.
Slow ride. They're taking it easy.
Now, if you can come up with line 3, I'll be impressed. Although with your phone, you can get anything today.
That's true. We never guess, we look it up.
Now, if the third line of that song has anything to do with cycling, I'll be unbelievably impressed.
Somehow, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think not myself.
Look at that pace.
That is a spread out field, my friend.
And what makes this hard, people say, oh, well, they're not going fast on bikes. That's not that difficult. To hold it up, remember, these are direct drive bikes. There's a single gear. It's a fixed gear. So there's no gears that they're going down to. The gear it's single gear, and that's the gear they're racing in. So that's the gear they have to jump off of. No brakes. So it's not like they're using brakes to slow them down. They're using their leg power to slow them down.
Here they come.
It's all a balancing act at this point. It's Kim Zubers in the colorful outfit there.
Here they go. The Matrix is over. That always reminds me when it's going real slow with those movies, The Matrix, everything is in whatever that is. Here goes Kim Zubers. She really took advantage.
Yes, she did.
Wow, Zubrist. Right out of the chute, could be wire to wire.
That was incredible. Again, another impressive ride. That showed some guts. The new word in just about every industry and education is grit. How much grit you have. That was grit.
Good job. She looks up.
She's just wire to wire. No, the peloton tried to come back on her. They couldn't do it. That was just such a great jump. And again, she had her legs going. She went from almost a standing start and caught everybody off guard when she took off. She just got that gear going.
And I think she surprised everybody.
Yeah.
Going as quick as she did. She was able to get that from a standstill. That was superb.
That was a great jump. She's one of our elite riders that rides against the internationals here. She's competed, for international U.S.
And here come the Pro-Am men.
Tomaszewicz will be in this one too, I believe, as well.
Another again strong field, and I think this is the only field of riders who I have not given a little airtime, so I'm going to do that right now. We have Michael Miller, number 12, Jesse Shotland, Robert Mayfield, Matthew Rakia, Ian Buss, Andrew Duddle, Tommy Quinn, Greenway Tang, Ryan Pomjevich, Brad Green, Dylan Gonsolis, Michael Schweitzer, Billy Taylor, James Cardillo, Andrew Cho, Calvin Troxel, Dakota Stein, Nao Yamashita, Terrence Schiaffi, DJ Toback, and Jonah Hoover. They're going to do the longest lap they will participate in. And getting their instructions from Andy Lakatosh.
As a former international rider for the United States, U.S. national champion, junior champion. Now he's training riders.
Quite the cycling resume for Mr. Lakatosh. And here they go. They're pushing it out pretty good.
And it's a fun time in Old T-Town tonight.
We are at the Valley Preferred Cycling Center, the Valley Health Network. Jim Urka, Gary Blockus, along with our Service Electric Network crew.
You can ask for a more perfect night. I mean, this is just fantastic for opening night. Beautiful weather.
Very comfortable. I want to thank Ryan Kelly, General Manager, for setting everything up with Joan Huntsman.
A little bit of speed here approaching the finish line.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Let's look at the stop. You can't hold on to anything. Tommy Quinn. It's like he's getting really close.
Quinn or Gonzalez?
Can't put his foot down. That's Quinn. And 242 is Gonzalez. He's close too. There's the bell.
Let's see if they got caught. Gonzalez got caught there.
Quinn takes off from the higher position, so he had a little bit of roll to him. Got that gear going. And look at him just throwing that bike around like it's a piece of spaghetti. She's going back and forth. We do have a rider in pursuit, but no one's going to get him.
That was a great run, Tommy Quinn.
That's a great jump, and boy, he got really close to the line, held off from going down, and then he got that great jump at the bell.
And wins the race, Tommy Quinn, without a problem.
Here it is. Look at him just stop there. It's almost, look at there. He's jumping the bike to perfect track stand. Almost at the line, almost. And the bell just in time. From that high position, was able to get that gear rolling. Again, getting that fixed gear, that single gear, rolling from a standing start takes a lot of power, a lot of effort. Getting the roll from the top of the track gives you assistance, and it gives you a little bit of that jump. And he just opened it up, and nobody came close.
When Quinn gets you,
The
he's
mighty
going to do
Quinn.
it. The mighty Quinn's going to get you by a lot, and he did right there.
That's 2 song references this season.
Yes,
Jim.
we're into the music. Well, they're having the big music play tonight, so.
Depending on what age of the crowd we're talking about.
Yeah, they're going, who is that guy?
I don't know any songs by Nao. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'd need more time than the show can allow to talk about between CD and vinyl, Gary. Although vinyl's making a comeback.
My daughter bought a whole bunch of vinyl. We got her some for Christmas, as a matter of fact. She's not pleased with the sound quality, though.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
For a while, my daughter Elizabeth was making popcorn bowls out of vinyl. That was in vogue, and you made record holders, and you melted them down over a can in the oven.
They didn't hold up good in weather.
No.
Seemed to always warp or scratch.
But you did have that talent to drop the needle right in between those songs when you wanted to replay.
Or play them backwards. And hear them.
About what you did during COVID to stay motivated and what you're gunning for this year.
Just a lot of training in the garage, just being outside. All you can do is just find the things that motivate you, whether that be training in a public place or... I'm too tired for this.
Fair enough. So training, keeping and staying focused, that is the trick of every athlete so far, is to stay focused and keep yourself motivated. What are you thinking about for this year in 2021?
This year, got some big goals. Excited to have nationals back here. Last time we had that was 2016. That was my first track nationals, so really cool to relive that, especially with the UCI races following this. Be a good lead-in.
Yeah, absolutely. So U.S. National Championships will be right here in T-Town this year. Tommy is going to get to compete right on his home track. And then, as he just mentioned, we will have international racing following that for 3 weeks straight. So we hope you guys can all join us here, cheer on Tommy Quinn, and hopefully get himself some national championships and UCI points. Let's hear it for Tommy Quinn, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we're going to...
That was a great interview there by Gabe Lloyd, and I think Tommy Quinn made a real good point that we were kind of referencing earlier, and about that mental fitness in terms of training in the garage. He saw training in the garage, going on your bike trainer, going on your rollers, and just constantly pounding it out. It takes a mental fitness there to put up with not so much the monotony, but the pain of it. And to be able to do that and then come out on the track, and he said, and do the public part of it, get used to it just powers you up. It takes that little bit of that mental edge, just like soars with the exposure to the public then.
All right, they're going to take a little break here. We'll be back after this short message. And there you see the weather, not quite cooperating for a full night, but we did have a great night of racing to start the season.
Yes, we did. It's like calling it's a no-hitter, saying what a perfect weather night it was, then having this little rain shower take place and just kind of dampen the evening, so to speak. But they are on a deadline to get their fireworks done. So we're going to bow to that, and it'll be fireworks time in a few minutes.
And how about anybody stick out in mind tonight for you to start the season?
I can't say just one person, because you saw all of them. Just about every rider had a good night. They're all happy to be on the track. It was just a pleasure to see them racing. You saw the smiles on the riders' faces, even the ones who were totally exasperated from effort. It was just a lot of fun for them. It was a lot of fun for us to see racing again after a full year off.
So there you have it for Dwayne Long, Gary Blockus, our entire crew. This is Jim Krupka saying, catch you again on SEN.